What's up, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Backpacking. We are your hosts, Miyagi and Trips on the Trail, bringing you some of the highlights this week in the world of backpacking. How you doing, Trips?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. We just got back from a trip to the Yellow River State Forest.
Yes, it's such a beautiful area.
And we had a beautiful weekend. The weather was in the 80s. In fact, almost too warm.
Mm-hmm. Except yesterday it was a little wonky.
A little wonky. It was a little windy. We had just a little bit of rain come down, but definitely not a May 1st that I've been ever used to.
No.
It's crazy. So we'll have a video up on the Yellow River State Forest sometime soon, but that's not why we're here, is it?
Nope.
We are here for the inaugural push-off of This Week in Backpacking, and we're going to take you now to the National Park News. Let's head on over there. The North Carolina Department of Transportation, or the NCDOT, and the National Park Service today announced the launch of the first ever self-driving vehicle to be tested at a recreational public land site in the nation. Fittingly, the Connected Autonomous Shuttle Supporting Innovation, or CASI, was launched at the Wright Brothers National Memorial in Kill Devil Hills, the site of the world's first powered flight. Autonomous vehicles use cutting-edge technology to operate without a driver. However, as part of this pilot, a trained customer service operator will ride in the vehicle to ensure the safety of the passengers. The operator will monitor conditions and will be able to manually stop the vehicle at any time. The vehicle will navigate its route using remote sensing laser technology called LiDAR and GPS to map and then monitor a fixed route. Sensors continuously scan the shuttle surroundings and signal for it to stop when an obstacle is too close. The NCDOT is working with Translock to provide real-time tracking software and a map to keep riders updated on CASI's location on their website. Now, during the pilot, the information will be collected about things such as number of passengers, trips, and the battery's usage. And the NCDOT and the NPS will use the data to better understand how autonomous vehicles perform in different settings. And from today through July 16th, the vehicle will take passengers from the Wright Brothers National Memorial Museum to the First Flight bronze sculpture and back. And the rides are free. However, the number of passengers is limited to the size of the vehicle and, of course, COVID restrictions. The vehicle operates at speeds between about 8 and 12 miles per hour, so kind of an exciting thing.
Yeah, it's cute and tiny.
It is cute and tiny. I know Google was doing their autonomous vehicle. I don't know if this is in conjunction with them, but hopefully everything goes all right for them.
Yes.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So what else is going on around the country?
Well, there was a huge marijuana grow that was discovered in Death Valley's Jail Canyon on April 30th. Park rangers recently, they discovered a large illegal marijuana grow site in Death Valley National Park. The site of approximately 40 acres, yes, you heard that correctly, 40 acres, was spotted in Jail Canyon, which is a rarely visited canyon on the western side of the Panamint Mountains. Jail Canyon is temporarily closed for public safety reasons until park rangers can fully evaluate the area.
That is a lot of marijuana.
Yes. And, in November of 2016, California passed Proposition 64, which legalized recreational marijuana use for adults 21 years of age and older. With that, you can possess and cultivate up to 6 living marijuana plants.
Not 40.
But not 40 acres
Not 40
worth.
acres worth.
So just make note of that,
Wow.
I guess. So we wish the National Park Service the best of luck sorting that one out.
Yikes. That's, wow. That's
Hopefully nobody starts any fires.
wow, that's crazy. I wouldn't think that you could grow marijuana plants in Death Valley. You wouldn't think
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I...
Clearly, there's areas. I mean, obviously, somebody identified it as a good grow area. 40 acres of, wow.
Yeah, that took some work to...
That did. Wow. In other news, Chiricahua, that's right, Chiricahua National Monument is certified as a dark sky park. The International Park Service and the International Dark Sky Association are pleased to announce Chiricahua National Monument as the 104th International Dark Sky Park. Park's located about 2 hours southeast of Tucson, Arizona, and is referred to as the Wonderland of Rocks. 8 miles of paved scenic drive and 17 miles of day-use hike trails provide opportunities to discover the beauty, natural sounds, and inhabitants of this 12,025-acre site. But I don't think a lot of people understand what a dark sky park is. Trips, do you know what a dark sky park is?
It is land possessing an exceptional quality of starry nights and a nocturnal environment that is specifically protected for its scientific, natural, educational, cultural heritage, and or public enjoyment. The land may be publicly owned or privately owned, provided that the landowner consents to the right of permanent ongoing public access to specific areas in the IDA designated dark sky parks. Obviously, these are places where there's a very little light pollution coming from the surrounding area. So I'm actually a little bit surprised that there's 104 of them, given how much light pollution exists in the...
It's pretty amazing, though.
Well, that is internationally.
You're right. But earlier in the day, I was actually checking out the website for the IDA, and most of those 104 sites are actually within the United States.
Are they?
Yeah. In fact, a couple of friends of mine, we went up to the Boundary Waters, which I believe is also had been recently listed as a dark sky park. We were in the canyon earlier, actually later in the year, in 2020, and that was also amazing. I don't know if Grand Canyon is a dark sky park, but man, it's just incredible. I mean, we look around, we're between Chicago and Milwaukee, and the skies aren't that great. So when you get up to places like this and you look up there and it's just the entire sky opens up, and it's just incredible. Just incredible. Yeah. Well, in other news, let's jump on over to the world of backpacking.
So, Colorado may have just had its first fatal bear attack in more than a decade. Wildlife officials are investigating after the death of a 39-year-old woman in Durango, which is very near the Colorado Trail. Colorado Parks and Wildlife stated that it believed the victim, a 39-year-old woman, took her dogs out on a walk near her home in Durango on the morning of April 30th. When her boyfriend returned home at 8:30 that night, he discovered their two dogs outside of the house but was unable to locate her. After searching for about an hour, he discovered her body and dialed 911. Responding wildlife officers discovered signs of consumption, as well as bear scat and hair around the body. If confirmed, the fatal attack would be Colorado's first since 2009, when a male black bear killed a 74-year-old woman who had been feeding bears at her home near Ouray, Colorado. So that is very sad.
That is sad. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family there. And obviously that brings up an important message. Don't feed wildlife, obviously bears, but any wildlife. And we all know that a mother protecting your young can act in ways that that a normal bear, obviously without cubs, would not.
Sure.
So don't know if all these are at play, but just a few things to keep in mind when venturing out into the backcountry. So in other kind of sad, well, very sad news, actually, a Appalachian Trail killer was found not guilty by reason of insanity. A judge recently found James L. Jordan not guilty by reason of insanity in the fatal stabbing of Ronald S. Sanchez Jr. along the Appalachian Trail in 2019. In 2019, Ronald Sanchez, an Iraq war veteran, set off on his thru hike of the Appalachian Trail to find peace in nature, as we all do, a quest that hundreds of others take each year on the 2,190-mile route through the mountains and forests of Georgia and Maine. On May 10th of that year, after he reached Southwest Virginia, he encountered James L. Jordan, who fatally stabbed Sanchez and seriously wounded another hiker in one of the worst episodes of violence in the trail's long history. On Thursday, a judge found Jordan, who had been charged with murder, not guilty by reason of insanity and committed him to a psychiatric institution. He will not be released until a court determines that he will not create a substantial risk of injury to anyone else. The prosecution's expert in the case concluded that the 32-year-old Jordan, pictured here, suffers from a severe psychiatric illness that features psychosis and mood disorder, this statement said. Experts on both sides, the lawyers added, agreed that at the time of the attack, he could not appreciate the nature and quality of his actions, and therefore he met the legal standard for insanity. This incident rocked the backpacking community, and its effects will continue to be felt for a long time to come. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Ronald Sanchez and his friends and family, and to all those in the backpacking community that continue to be affected by this tragic story. Yes. Obviously not an outcome that most of us wanted to see. It leaves a lot to be questioned and things of that nature, but our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody involved in that tragic event. In other news, we're going to head over to our correspondent in the field, Hunter Musgrove. He's got some new information in the Enlightened equipment world. They've released a brand new piece of apparel.
Hi, it's Hunter from Hunter's Trip. So what's new in the hiking and backpacking world? Well, today we're going to talk about the new Enlightened Equipment Torrid Pullover. Enlightened Equipment just released this new jacket last week, coming in about 16 different colors depending on the outer and inner shell combination. They also have made some new adjustments over their previous Torrid, which is the full zip I'm wearing currently. Some of those new features are the new marsupial kangaroo pouch that they have on the front. It's got a half zip coming down from the neck to the waistline, elastic cuffs on the sleeve allowing for a tighter fit. They also have a waistband adjustment as well, depending on a tighter or looser fit for your stomach. They also say that it comes in between small all the way up to 2XL. So if you're unsure on your size, what a lot of people are recommending is that you order maybe your actual size and then the size up. And then you can send back the other one with a little bit of a restocking fee. But with this custom jacket, it's awesome to get your perfect fit. It weighs in at about 7 to 8 ounces depending on the color combination, and also comes in a hoodless or a sleeveless version. And it comes in a 7, 10, and 20 denier depending on how thick and how durable you want your jacket to be. It also has a DWR coating on it. So that means if it gets in a little bit of rain, it's not going to get moisture soaking through. And being that it is a ClimaShield Apex insulation, you also don't have to worry about weather becoming an issue when it comes to warmth. Apex stays warm even when it's wet, so there's really no stress with the fabric. It packs down real small for you weight weenie kids like myself who want a small size pack. And the best thing is that it's not too bulky, it's just the right size. And I myself am about 6'2", 160 pounds. I chose the medium. They make it to where you can kind of put some clothing underneath and over the top, so it really just depends on your style of hiking. I'd recommend if you're looking for a new puffy jacket and you want to dabble in some Apex instead of some down, check out Enlightened Equipment. They got a ton of options on their website, and I highly recommend looking at the new Enlightened Equipment Torrid Pullover. Have a good day, guys.
I was super excited when Hunter reached out to me about this new pullover jacket, because Trips and I are both big fans of the Melanzana microgrid hoodie, which has that kangaroo pocket in it. And so does this one here, as you can see in the picture. And it's available, like Hunter said, in the 7, 10, and 20D. Obviously, the 20D is going to be the heavier version. The 7D, which, of course, I had to get, is a much lighter version of the jacket because, ultralight is my thing. Not always, but super excited about this jacket. It is the ClimaShield, so it's synthetic, which means that if you're in a wet environment, it's going to keep you warm better than downwood, which is going to absorb that moisture and it's going to lose its thermal capacity. So pretty excited. I think there's about a 6 to 8 week lead time on anything you buy from Enlightened Equipment, but well worth it. Trips and I both use a number of their underquilts and quilts inside of our hammocks, and we're pretty happy with them.
Very.
So check it out. Jump over to enlightenedequipment.com and check out the new Torrid Pullover. Moving on, we're going to check out, we're going to head over to YouTube, and we're going to check out one of our thru hikers that we've been keeping tabs on. Maybe you might know him. Mm-hmm. That's right. For those of you who recognize the music. And that statement, IBTAD is back on trail, man. And he's kicking it with a vengeance. He is finishing up his Triple Crown hike. He started in 2018 on the Appalachian Trail, 2019 on the Pacific Crest Trail. Took a year off in 2020, COVID and everything, was working at mountain crossings for most of the year. And now he is kicking it on the Continental Divide Trail. He took about a week to start dropping his episodes, and he's on episode 7. So he's been on trail for over a week now. And I think in the last episode that Trips and I watched, he was in Silver City.
Yep,
so
he had just gotten there.
He was doing he had a lengthy road walk that he just got done doing, and now he's kind of kicking it and doing some resupply and showering and all that stuff that hiker trash does when they hit towns in Silver City. So we're pretty excited to follow him on his Triple Crown hike. The first day he started, he ran into some problems. The night he had a hole in his pad, so he had a really horrible night's sleep.
Ugh.
The next morning when he woke up, he was making breakfast, and his stove tipped over. He burned a hole in his Z-Packs
Oh my gosh.
duplex tent. So, yeah, and, as anybody that knows anything about the Continental Divide Trail, especially through New Mexico, the water situation can be quite precarious. So, and if you watch IBTAD, pretty much every other word that comes out of his mouth is something foul. So, parental advisory to those who have kids or who may have sensitive ears. But I tell you what, IBTAD, Jeff Oliver is his name. He has some just fantastic photography and videography.
he
In
really
fact,
does.
this year he bought himself a drone. He's got a Mavic Mini. So the cinematography that he puts together, the story that he weaves during this journey from New Mexico up to the Canadian border, it's just amazing. And even if you got to turn the volume down if you're offended, I tell you what, it's worth it just to see. To see the images, but you're going to get raw. You're going to get IBTAD, Jeff, he's going to give you what it really feels like to be on trail, all the trials and tribulations. He doesn't sugarcoat anything at all. It's you're getting the raw deal. So on YouTube, you can find him at IBTAD, and IBTAD is I've Been to a Town. His name's Jeff Oliver. Check him out on YouTube.
I didn't realize that's what that stood for.
Yeah, I've Been to a Town. I think it's actually part of a song or part of a story. So check him out, IBTAT. We all love him, and some of us hate him, but he's definitely entertaining.
Yes.
While
he
we
is.
still have you here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, that share button, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on next week's updates. We're going to be dropping these every Sunday, the latest and the greatest in the backpacking community. If you have any news that you'd like to share with us, new gear suggestions on different episodes or future segments, drop us a line at thisweekinbackpacking@gmail.com. So that is going to wrap it up for the news for this week. Guys, thanks again for tuning in, and we will see you next week on This Week in Backpacking.
Take care.
Take care.